especially for your hands. I mean, I have huge hands. Yours are huge.
Okay, we are now filming. So, Andrew is over there. Pierre is over here. This is what you see. We didn't see your hand.
Oh, I thought I was in somehow.
No, from here, this is all we see. So, Andrew is visiting from New York, and he likes fountain pens to a degree. Has what, 3 or 4?
Oh, yeah.
But you don't know a Waterman from a Schaefer from a Cape Soap, really.
Not really.
You like pens to write with and to draw with, and so these 2 fancy-looking pens here belong to a friend of ours, Peter Minton, who sent them to me to be repaired. And one of them, I forget now which, needed to have a new nib put on it. So I did that. So we can, why don't you just pick the gold one and scribble with that for a little bit. And again, the view is from this corner here. So just write with it for a little bit and see what you have, what impressions you have.
I used to know how to forge John Hancock's name.
And did you make a living doing that?
No, but I got extra credit in school.
Extra credit in school. So
not bad, right?
Not bad. The parif is a little off. That's called a parif.
That's a parif.
And what that was for was not to show John Hancock was fancy. It wasn't to show he's a fancy man. It was to thwart forgers.
Oh.
Because it was very easy to evidently do that, but hard to do a parif.
I think Elizabeth's parif was this, wasn't it?
Yeah, it went on and on and on and on and on. And then some.
And then some.
So just write.
But look how clunky. Yours is so.
Write how you might normally write. So start a sentence here and go that way.
It's hard for me to.
Well, I'm
ooh,
sorry.
Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah. Jackson Pollock, E. Dear darling.
Diary.
Oh, Dear Diary. Sorry. I can't read upside down. Dear Diary. I always want to spell it dairy. Dear Dairy. Okay, now try this pen.
Okay.
Right up here, right more in the middle of this thing. And again,
So it made a smudge.
I should have used a smaller piece of paper.
I want to do a smudge like you do. Oh, it does. It's nice. That Pollock splatter.
So this pen will seem moppier, I think, than this one. This is a little tighter.
This one's moppier?
Yeah, well,
okay.
I think so. I mean, try it out.
Right. Let's try. I'm waiting for that to dry. Although my friend has he's a gazillion pens, and he says, does he have a blotter? I said, blotter? No, he doesn't blot. He smears and smudges and right.
I don't blot. I'll put it that way.
Sometimes you have blotters. You've never even. I don't know you to have one.
I do have blotters, but I don't.
When was the last time you blotted?
Years ago.
Yeah. See.
And before that, don't ask me when the last time I pounced, because that was the other way. Ponce powder. It was sort of like talcum powder that you pour on it and blow it off. So that pen...
This one seems more obedient and more artful. Oops, wrong there.
But this one, this is tighter. Makes you want to sit up straight a little bit more. And I think it's a nice variation to what he had there. I'm just going to move this. I'm going to give you a new page, and you're going to write right here.
More central.
Right, more central, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
So what can I write?
Draw a high heel shoe.
Oh, I'll draw? Okay. Let's see. I have to go back to 1978, Florsheim, my second job, because Nathan's Hot Dogs fired me. And I said, fine.
Oh, see, I make high heel shoes look like cowboy boots, or no, work boots, not even.
I'm drawing like you now. I think it's just inevitable.
Much nicer.
1901. The gals wore spats too, didn't they?
They might have had.
I swear I've seen this kind of thing before.
And for shits and giggles, this pen that you thought was too dainty, this has a very prickly nib. And I don't know if I would trust you to use it for doing your John Hancock. But just try it out as a change.
Oh, I'll do my actual signature. Let's see what happens.
Okay, do it
and
over here.
It's very grand.
That's it? Okay, that works.
I'll tell you, it was... we'll go through the whole thing. This is
What it used
freshman year, junior high, or high school, or kind of Palmer method.
Uh-huh.
Then I wanted to be somebody, so I did that.
And how did that work for you?
That was
You
that
were
helped me.
somebody.
I was somebody for about 2-3 years. And then when you write, I mean, because we were writing checks for Con Ed and telephone, I mean, you really wrote Brizzle freaking Lara all the time. It just became, then it became, and I put in the dot for the dash, of course. And now it's just...
I'm just moving this so you can see it here.
It's actually this. This is my signature. This is my signature. And here it is. A, get the B on your way down. Z, just put both Z's in there. Swoop up to the L, Laura. And the I gets there. And I think it's got it all in there.
I just do this.
And it goes against... You're supposed to write your...
I don't bother with... I'm the only
But see
peer
how
that I...
disobedient you are. Like me. We're supposed to fit it in here.
Yeah, like...
But we go up here.
Yeah,
we're rebels. And at the bank, she goes, "You can't do that. Is that your signature?" But.
Yes.
And
dear.
it's fun to defy the rules in a very classy way. Let me go back to the tight one.
This is the tight one.
That's
This is
the tight one? Okay.
This is the loosey-goosey one. So Peter, who owns these pens, does a mean, we'll call it a mean Thomas Alva Edison. So it's this big T Edison. I don't know how he does it, but it's this big swoop.
Is it just like his signature?
It's his signature, but it was his trademark. So it was on all his
Oh,
inventions.
I see.
I'll find a picture of it and show it to you, but I can't do it right now.
See if I can do a piano.
Did you turn off your iPad?
I think so.
Okay. Then I won't show it to you there. You're going to draw a piano?
This one doesn't.
Piano.
It's like I'm displeasing it.
Okay, we'll switch.
Some of them are just, your servant and slave, and other ones are just, how dare you use me?
I think part of it is you're maybe holding it in an awkward angle to fit on this thing. But
I get a splatter.
oops, I always make my piano. No, I'm doing it. No. Yes, I'm doing it right. The piano is, the high keys are up here, so this is the short strings.
Right. Oh, look at me. I'm purified.
Yep. Yep. But
Do you remember your former signatures?
oh yeah, they're awful.
Can you do 7th grade?
No, I mean I don't want to.
You don't want to?
I don't want to go there. I mean, part of it was at that time I was learning how to do calligraphy, so I would, I would write my name like this. That wasn't really my signature, but that's what I would write my name. It would just look like
There's a drawing of your name.
something the cat coughed up. This
Yeah, that's
curlicue hairball routine.
See if I can do my Catholic school Palmer method. B was always weird. You could do that. Did you do Palmer method?
Yeah, I did something like that.
See, you had to be very clever and get that cute. All of the charm had to start right at the beginning.
Yeah,
to get
that
the
little
C.
The C is just a pubic hair on a muck. There's no way to make us. I don't know any
But
way to make it
if
look
your
good.
sister Gilbertetta, you're so gorgeous. She just goes boom. And E's, you have to start off with the out of the thing.
Yeah.
E's are you start off with a. That was always so scary. But I knew I was gay when they started us with teaching us cursive letters, because the first exercise was, you don't write a word, you just make pretty shapes. So you. And I thought, this is like figure skating. I'm born. I'm me. And then you do, oh.
And then you knew you were okay.
The other one was like, block. That was proletariat. That was signing your, birth certificate, your child's birth certificate with a twig or something. But cursive was just freedom. And here's my cursive anecdote. I wrote down the specials for a friend for the night, and it was like soup, veg, it's like, pork chop. And I said, can you read all that? And he goes, no, it's just one big signature to me.
Oh, dear.
They can't read it. They can't read a round clock or
a round clock
or cursive handwriting.
I was at a restaurant once with my boyfriend at the time, and it was one of these restaurants that has the paper placemat with little scalloped edges.
God, yes. They're great.
And oddly enough, they have really nice paper.
They're sort of shiny, right?
Little shiny, very smooth. I mean, it's textured sort of like canvas is, but it was very smooth to the pen, and it was really fun writing on. So my placemat looked like this, except prettier, And the waiter came up, is that filigree? And I said, yep, that's exactly what it is.
Exactly what it is.
It's filigree
right.
is what...
That big fancy word you just said.
Is the right word. It's better than calligraphy.
It actually is better than calligraphy.
Yeah.
Filigree.
Filigree. So you're drawing a hand, the death hand of Wagner or something, it looks like.
Yeah. Let's just make the plaster. We'll put it on a plaster.
A plaster, a plinth.
Plinth? Is that it?
A podium. Yeah, plinth, I think, would be what that would be.
Oh, and W's. When I got to W's, I thought I have reached the heights. All my W's are still. It's up.
But you had to wait a long time to get to the W's. You're almost at the end.
We, the people. And T's, you were allowed a little bit of leeway.
Yeah.
And Q's, I never liked that. I thought that's not fair. But I didn't like the number 2. Like, that's a Q. That's not allowed. Come on, people. Because my 2 was the 2's not this. It's this.
Yeah.
And in my crossword puzzles, I do E's. There's always even if the ballpoint, and even if it's a tiny little square like that, I can get an E with a curly thing in there.
Yeah.
And I love at the edges when you're filling it out as like, something. What ends in an R? The R is supposed to fit in there, but I always go R.
Okay.
Outside, like I finished it.
And you're crossing out 37 down, 37 across.
Yes, and then it's
completely crossed off.
And my S can always
I don't
be.
need to fill that one in.
I can get that in there if I have to.
Even with those.
Even if I'm going fast, there's a little moment in there.
Okay. And what do you use for your crossword puzzle?
Well, I used to use the Eversharp that you gave me. Okay. So great, and that one is a joy because I guess I've come to know it.
Yeah.
But I'm too cheap for ink.
Oh, for God's
sake.
So I
kept pouring water in there. I know $10. I figured.
Well, I will give you a quart bottle of ink.
No, you won't, because you'll use that in an afternoon.
No,
you need that.
I've got lots of quart bottles of ink that's 50 years old or more, 60, 70 years old.
And it never goes bad, does it really?
Well, it gets a little faded, but that's fine for the crossword puzzle. Or for your John Hancock forgeries that you're putting out.
Because he did the O. Oh, he also did this. He did JHN and then came back for the O.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. And he did, I can't remember the H so well, but you have to go like that. Hand, pause, and then ka. And then this, and then he stopped there. And then this goes, I think it's like that. And then you get to do your Fisher. What's it called?
Parif.
Parif. So there's serif and parif.
Parif.
You should change your name to that. Parif Gustafson.
Parif Gustafson. Well, go back to this one again. Again, these are two Peter's pens. I think they're very different from one another. That one's prickly, but in a good prickly way.
We'll do lyrics from the song he played for us.
You ought to be in pictures.
Or no, he's saying, leave it to Jane, which no one knows the words to except for him, and it fell out of him like jewels from a purse.
Yep.
You're Jupiter and Mars.
This little ball at the end of this clip was supposed to be a sphere, but it's been worn away by use. And someone was selling a pen like this at a pen show, and they put a little diamond in there. They just made it swanky.
Thoughtful. Because silver wears down faster than gold?
Well, it just doesn't necessarily wear down faster, but this person who had this pen in their pocket also had a coat that was probably wool and houndstooth or something, and wore away the ends there.
My star of stars,
Ours. Well, this has been going on for 16 minutes. I think that's a good number. So, shall we say goodnight, Gracie?
Ciao, Gracie.
Ciao, Gracie. Okay, so we'll do this fancily. We're going to turn the page, and you're going to write goodbye at your side, and I'll write goodbye on my side. So, goodbye. Good.
I can't even get it going. I also like when they put the periods of things, like you'll say like.
Is that what you're saying?
Fine,
What do you?
yeah.
Oh, you have to make cross your F there.
Oh, I do, don't I?
Try to do it again.
That's
boy.
right.
Fa. There you go.
And then they like they'll say like, like it'll be like hair products period or
Yeah. I like when they did that. When they,
shoe repairs. Or shoes repaired, they would do something like that.
Shoes, comma, repaired.
Yes.
Repaired and sold.
But I love the period at the end so you know to stop reading.
Yeah. A friend of mine has an antique shop. Antiques, Andrew Spindler Antiques, period. And there's no verb in the sentence.
There's no verb.
But it's implied.
It just holds it right there. It gives it a little place to be.
Okay. Well, wave. Goodbye. Toodaloo.